I wanted something different, so I'm going to start a podcast. And I don't even know what the hell I'm going to call it. So what a great start I've made already. Oh, thank God. For this first episode, we're going to talk about goalkeepers and Football Manager goalkeepers. So before that, I just wanted to say something real quick about my experience, and then we'll get into it. Let me tell you the story. This is the story of Mike's, yeah? Listen. Oh, shit. Alright, wait, hold on. Alright, cool. Listen, I used to be a goalkeeper myself, I swear. Real talk. Charlton, I played badly, not on purpose, just because I didn't think I was good enough, to the point where the manager had to put me in goal. He put me in goal. He turned me into a goalkeeper myself, yeah? And then I was actually doing all right at goalkeeper for a bit, but then the lack of self-belief came again. And then he just said, all right, so we don't exist anymore. He basically told my mum that the club doesn't exist. He faked the liquidation of the club just so he wouldn't hurt my feelings. I really wish he told me the truth, man, because right now I don't care anymore. But at that time, Jesus Christ, hey, bruv, I thought, wow, the club's gone, Charlton doesn't exist, but he was lying. I had one last shot to make an impression to myself that I could play football, and that was secondary school football team trials. So to play for your school team, you had to be of a certain level, obviously, because no one wants to play with someone that isn't of their level. So they had the trials. I went there. I thought I smashed it. Didn't get into the team. There was too many guys that were better than me in it. At the time, I was stressed. I was like, all right, so it's really not going to happen. It's confirmed, bruv. It's confirmed. I'm trash. I'm part of that batch of trash. But it's me. I'm there. And I had to just take it on my chin. But obviously, I didn't at the time. I was salty. I was bitter. I was jealous. But now I look back and it's like, it probably happened for a good reason still. I'm so grateful for Football Manager, you know, because I was a massive FIFA head. And if you know FIFA, you know that they, with their in-game spendings, you'll spend a lot of money on that game. Just for the game to end, they'll release a new one. It was happening too frequently. I couldn't do it anymore, man. And then at the perfect time, my friend showed me about Football Manager. I was laughing. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, what the flip is this? You're there watching man playing, but you're not the one that's controlling them. How do you enjoy looking at this nonsense? But then he kept on pressuring me. For some reason, he just kept on pressuring me to play. I was like, all right, fine. I just bought it. I just bought the game. Football Manager 18. I remember it vividly. I bought it on Steam for the £40 at the time. I was like, wow, £40 for this? All right, cool. At the beginning, I was so confused, as you are. But then eventually, I was like, wow, I'm used to having to feel like I need to throw my pad through my TV because I just lost a 4-1 lead. But now I feel like dashing my laptop out the window because I bottled a 4-1 lead as well. But in Football Manager, I'm not the one controlling it, so I don't get as angry. You get what I'm saying? It's not me that's in control. It's them. It's their fault. I have someone to blame, finally, yes. I didn't know they did Championship Manager 20, God knows how many years ago. This kind of football simulation game's been out for decades and I never heard about it before. So this is where I'm introduced to different roles. I didn't know there was different types of goalkeepers. I thought everyone was the same. Football Manager 2024 in particular, yeah? I've noticed something that's reoccurring with many different saves. I heard that the people that make the game are going to come out and change it, but I don't think it's been conquered. They haven't conquered it just yet. And it's the fact that I feel like my goalkeepers have got tubes sticking out of them and they're on the brink of collapsing every second that they get. Any excuse they have to break their wrist, they'll take it. They'll jump right onto that bus of the break the wrist bus. They'll be on that bus, front row. I swear, every single time. It's annoying as hell. Usually your Football Manager goalkeeper is your most reliable player. He's the one that you put your faith in for the whole season. You only need one backup in the past. Now you're chopping and changing because he's getting injured innocuously. It got to the point where I had to Google, what is innocuous? Who created this word for this situation? I Googled it. The meaning of innocuous is not harmful or offensive. So why is he out for 4 weeks then, innit? You're saying that his injury is not harmful or offensive, but he's gone for 4 weeks because he's injured innocuously. I can't make sense of that, but if you can, please let me know. Please, someone explain Why has he just collapsed? I'm saying, hey, it's so annoying. And I'm the one that's suffering. Not me, but all of us. We're suffering. Pissing me off. Real talk. I swear down. You're annoying. You're annoying as hell. But anyway, I'm going through each of the goalkeeping, not rules, not instructions, but statistics. For example, throwing or one-on-one. I'm going to talk about all of them today. That's what I wanted my first episode to be, because it's straightforward. Before I talk about real football and anything else, let me just get this out of my way. First off, I would like to talk about what is the optimal height for a goalkeeper, because I do see a couple little schmidgens. There's a couple little, not midgets, but for a goalkeeper, I'll be honest, 6 foot is kind of underwhelming. Let's be honest, it is. It just is. So I'm talking, I believe the optimal height is between 6'2" and 6'7". And the reason why I say that is because 6'2" is a decent height. Your arms will stretch naturally, but 6'7" is just under drugs. I think anyone that's above 6'7", that's drugs. I think when God was doing the create my character for the genetics, he accidentally went too hard on the height. That's what I think if you're above 6'7". All right, well, believe it or not, the goalkeeper does have a technical section. Goalkeepers are, just like everyone else, graded on their technique. I got Neuer and David De Gea here, both quality in their own rights, both extremely different goalkeepers. How important is technique for a goalkeeper? Well, I'll be honest, if you're David De Gea, you might as well start your plumbing course from now, because it actually reflects the aesthetic quality of a player's technical game. And with David De Gea having 8 technique, it's not going to look good. It won't look good. It will be quite painful on the eyes. Manuel Neuer, on the other hand, has 13 technique, which is still not too high. But for a goalkeeper, that's great, man. So when you mix it with his passing ability, it's much more likely that the ball will get to its destination. It's like if I was to send you on a mountain hike, but I gave you a car to go, and the car that I gave you had 2.5 wheels. How confident are you that you'll get to your trip? With David De Gea, that ball is not landing at its destination. Unfortunately, it'll be casualties, bro. I'll be honest, that's what's just going to happen. The ball will either go out for a throw-on, straight to the opposition. It's not going to look good. It'll be bad. So, he ain't got the abilities to be on the ball. So, therefore, you don't put him on the ball. With Manuel Neuer, he's got the facilities for it, so he's more than capable of playing football. But don't worry, we'll get to his passing abilities soon. We're moving on to penalty taking. Manuel Neuer has got 13 penalty taken. So even if you're in a cup right now and you're about to get knocked out, this goalkeeper called Manuel Neuer will be able to hold his own in front of goal. When it's a pressured penalty, he might be able to put it away with 13 penalty taken. That's respectable. When I go to David De Gea, he's got 2 penalty taken when you need him. He's going to miss. He'll miss it. He'll miss it. You can't even put him on penalties. Free kick taken is actually a stat for goalkeepers. I don't know who put that in there, but maybe there was a goalkeeper at one point that was scoring free kicks. I don't know him personally, but there might have been. So now everyone else has to suffer, because no one's going to have the freedom to take free kicks anyway. 7 free kicks for David De Gea, for example, and 8 for Manuel Neuer. That's the technical section for goalkeepers. But did you know that all the goalkeepers have an outfield rating as well, just in case for some reason you wanted your goalkeeper to play up front or play on the wing or play centre back? I don't know where. Maybe if it's the last second of the game. When I come to think of it, if you lost all hope, you're like, you know what? It can't get worse than this. I'm going to put my goalkeeper as a target man. So if the ball was given to Neuer outfield, he would probably be able to play a pass. He actually might be able to see the ball. That might be a factor, because with David De Gea, pack your bags and leave. There's no point sticking around. Goalkeepers have their own goalkeeping section, and we use that to see who's good and who's not good at their jobs. So watch this, yeah? I'm going straight in. Throwing. Cool. So David De Gea, for example, has 8 throwing ability. See, now I'm laughing at him thinking this donut can't even throw a ball. But then I realised I can't throw a ball either. They were laughing at me too, real talk, man. He's got 8 throwing. He's better than me at doing it. Manuel Neuer has got 17. You can see here, if you can't throw a ball as a professional goalkeeper, surely your career shouldn't exist. That's just not practical. You ask him, David, please throw me my water bottle over there. He'll throw it into the River Thames. That's the problem, man. No accuracy with the hands. How's he going to defend himself? He'll be missing all of his shots. But David still had a long, lengthy career at the high level and for other reasons. So let's get into some more. The next one is rushing out tendency. See, with tendency, you're telling me it's the likeliness. If he's in the mood, then he might do it. And for example, David De Gea's got a rushing out tendency of 3. See, if you're a sweeper keeper, that has to be high. Because David isn't a sweeper keeper, I don't mind him sitting back. Because he isn't going to provide anything technically anyways. He doesn't instill the team with faith when he's on the ball. Everybody's in fact the opposite of faith. They're scared. The lack of faith, the lack of leadership when he's on the ball is frightening. That's why everybody's preferring him not to rush out. Thank God his rushing out tendency is only 3. This attribute reflects the goalkeeper's tendency to come off his line. Stay there. Don't come off your line, please. I swear, that's how you feel. But with Manuel Neuer, it's a completely different book. It's a different book, a different chapter. It's not even the same genre. This is history that I'm talking about now. This ain't even football anymore. Watch this, yeah? His rushing out tendency is 20. So that means he can't stay in goal. He's bubbling every moment that you see him on the screen. He'll be in the shot of the camera when you're playing football. You'll be in your own half. You'll see Neuer there, pretending to be a centre back, because no one can tell him anything. His rushing out tendency is the highest that it can be. So he's coming off his line, getting through balls and crosses, playing through balls and crosses. This is the difference. One is extremely useful at coming off his line. The other one is the equivalent of you having a chicken as the manager of KFC. Frightening. He'll be terrified, man. He'll be scared. Another important stat, reflexes. So Manuel Neuer has 15, yeah? The importance of reflexes cannot be understated. It is probably, for a goalkeeper, top 3. Because you need to be able to be fake. You have to be fake. You have to be a bit of a glitch sometimes, you know what I mean? I thought that I had good reflexes one time when I was in school. We was making little bow and arrows made out of paper. And we would use an elastic band to fling them. I once made a little target, put my face in the middle of the target and said, listen, anybody that's got enough accuracy, shoot it at the target where my face was holding it in front of at the time. I said, if you can shoot it through this, you're an absolute warrior. So someone flipping shot it through the hole, and my whole idea was to dodge it at the last second. I didn't dodge it. It licked me in my nose. I still remember that pain. Oh my Lord. And yeah, if I had better reflexes, I would have been able to dodge that bullet. But someone like Manuel Neuer, 15 is respectable. But this is where you give David De Gea his flowers. That man has 19 reflexes. You know reflexes is the number 1 when the description of it makes them sound superhuman. Listen to this, yeah? This attribute reflects the goalkeeper's ability to react to unpredictable events with a high success rate. Wolverine, Logan, those are the only people I know that are doing this. That's what reflexes will bring you. He'll survive in the wilderness, for sure. Don't even give him any money, he'll just make it happen himself. I'm telling you, he'll run the whole jungle in 2 years, just give him time. Even at 32 years old, there's still a place for him. That's why so many clubs want him in the game. I don't know about real life. It's mad. Punching tendency is another stat for goalkeepers. And usually some actually have a high stat. I see a couple 16, 17s. For this example, I've got David De Gea with 10, Manuel Neuer with 8. So they're not known for swinging when they need to. But obviously punching tendency is just, let's say there's a corner and he's at an uncomfortable angle to catch the ball. So instead he just punches it clear. This is just their willingness to do that. How often would they do that? David De Gea is a little bit higher than Neuer here. But sometimes, when there's the high ones, I'm always thinking, yeah, that's that alcohol right there. Heightened confidence, they'll just start swinging. That's what I mean. Bare fights breaking out because they can't control their punching. That's what I thought. But it's definitely useful. I find it quite odd that instead of putting the passing in the technical section, they actually put it in the goalkeeping section. Has it always been like that, or is it because modern football is more of a requirement for certain teams that do play out from the back for the goalkeeper to be involved in the football? I ain't got a clue, but what I do know is that these two that I've got here with Neuer and De Gea, the comparison is like Venus and Pluto. That's how different it is. The gulf in quality is so gargantuan. you would think they're from different planets. See, now, I don't know if Neuer actually invented the sweeper-keeper role. I don't know if he was the originator, but I know that both of them have damn near perfected what they're both good at. So if I was to put David De Gea with his 7 passing in a sweeper-keeper situation, I'm better off throwing my laptop in the nearest volcano. Pointless. 7 passing, forget about it, man. It's just not what he's good at. There's a lot of goalkeepers, including Manuel Neuer, that have something stupid. For example, he's got 16 passing. There's guys that have got 17, 18s. There's some ridiculous passes in this game. And I'm just thinking to myself, you selfish bastards, man. You could have given that to someone that actually plays outfield. They're in goal and they're better than a lot of the midfielders. There's genuinely midfielders in this game that may never get to them kind of levels. And it's not a talent wasted. Matter of fact, it's beautiful because you've already got, let's say you've got ball playing defenders that are good on the ball. Your wing backs are good on the ball. Midfield good on the ball. When you add a goalkeeper to that, that's like getting pummeled from 15 different angles. How can you keep up? Everybody's just competent to a certain level playing with the football. How are you going to get the ball? This is cheating. It's not fair. So I'm looking at it from that perspective, like, you're selfish. One-on-ones. One of my favourites is the ability to hold your own in one-on-one situations. So he's not going to fold if he's got high one-on-ones. He's not going to look away. He's not going to avoid eye contact. He's going to stare them right into their soul. He's going to make them miss that one-on-one sitter. For the attacker, a one-on-one is a sitter. For the goalkeeper, a one-on-one is these stats right here. For example, David De Gea's got 14. He might be able to hold his own. But because he's a goalkeeper defend, I need to get onto this. So, Manuel Neuer's got 15. David De Gea's got 14. One's a sweeper keeper, one isn't. Who's going to be facing more one-on-one situations? In my opinion, I think it might be the guy that's sweeping. The guy that's running out. The guy will be sprinting head down at the guy that's about to shoot one-on-one. I think he's the one that's going to be facing a lot more one-on-one situations. So I think it's more important if you're a sweeper keeper that has higher one-on-ones. But I'm not saying that a goalkeeper defend will never be in that situation, because it's going to happen. I also believe that the opinion that I just made highly relies on whatever depth or defensive line. How high is the defensive line? That's what I'm thinking. Imagine if your defensive line is higher than Snoop Dogg, then what? You're going up against a guy with 41 on-ones. He's not a sweeper keeper. What is he going to do? I'm thinking, what do goalkeeper defenders do in one-on-one situations when they don't sweep? Surely they still sweep. I'm trying to think, do they just stand and wait? Surely no, they must come out and make themselves look bigger. That's the fundamentals. I've even heard that as a kid. Come out, make yourself look bigger. Kicking. Surely you can make an argument that kicking should be in the technical section, man. But it isn't. It's in the goalkeeping section. And I finally know the difference between kicking and passing. And it's straightforward. One is in open play, which is passing. And then the other one, kicking, is from dead ball situations and from both hand situations. Both hand isn't throwing. Both hands is when the goalkeeper has this sweet little thing called a football in his hands. And then he throws it in the air and just boots it. That's what they mean from both hand and dead ball restarts, bro. So David De Gea's got 14. He's actually accurate when it's not pressurized. But when there's pressure, beyond useless. That's the difference. Someone like Manuel Neuer now, you can genuinely rely on him to start counterattacks. He could actually be used as a weapon to start counterattacks if you're playing your cards right, because he's got 18 kicking. This man went and brought Kung Fu to the football pitch. Handling. And no, I am not talking about Gran Turismo, Need for Speed, Grand Theft Auto. This ain't no driving. This is how often can you hold onto these balls? I mean, the football. Literally, watch this, yeah? Handling. The attribute reflects the goalkeeper's ability to hold onto a ball and make it a save. Yeah, I literally just said it. Literally, yeah? It's annoying as hell when it doesn't go right. But when it goes right, it's beautiful. Let's say you're getting shooted at. Someone's taking a long shot against you, yeah? If the goalkeeper drops the ball, that's their opportunity to capitalize on his error and try and score, because it's still not in his hands. So it's risky. And Manuel Neuer's only got 14 handling, so it's risky. Long shots, they could cause problems for him. They could. But David De Gea, this is where he gets more credit. He's got 16 handling, so it's less frequent that that's going to happen. It's probably a safer bet to have him if you're playing against a team that's taking a lot of long shots. First touch. How good are you at receiving the ball and just deading it? That's what should be in the technical section, but for a goalkeeper, it's in the goalkeeping section. I don't know how. David De Gea has got 13 first touch, which is just pure clickbait. There's nothing worse than clickbait. Scams. It draws you in, it sucks you in. You see it and you're like, wow, this guy looks like he's got a lot of technical ability under his belt. And then when it's time to pass it, you might as well have turned off the TV 10 minutes ago anyways. Manuel Neuer has got 13 first touch as well, but that's the difference. When you tune in to see what he does next, he does something well. Eccentricity. I've never been able to grasp a full understanding of this. And I can even say to this day, I don't really understand it either, because we've already got flair. And also what makes this even more confusing, goalkeepers also have flair. So there's flair and there's eccentricity. Flair is the attribute reflects the player's natural talent for the creative and unpredictable. But then eccentricity is the goalkeeper's tendency to do the unexpected with or without the ball. Isn't it the same thing? Or am I at the Dumbo circus again? Is that what, the higher the eccentricity, the more circus acts that I'm going to see? The more heartbreaks that I'm going to go through with him just losing the ball for no reason. That's what I feel like. Eccentricity, is that going to work in or without your favour? I think for any other position, that'll be all right. But for a goalkeeper, bruv, you're like 10 seconds away from the goal. You're the last line of the defence. So why are you the one that has to be unexpected without the ball or with the ball? Surely they should give eccentricity to the outfield players as well. Unless it's the same thing as flair. It doesn't make any sense. Manuel Neuer's got 18 of it. Bruv, I'm scared. I don't know, bruv. Is this good or bad? I don't know. But then we go to David De Gea and he's got 6. So is Neuer just a clown? Is he a clown? That's what I'm thinking. Like, not him, but his high eccentricity is that you turning into a joker. Because I feel like you're more serious as a goalkeeper, because this is an important position. As a goalkeeper, the lower the eccentricity might be the better. Communication. This is important. This is why I look at goalkeepers as if they're warlocks or mages or wizards or healers. Let me explain, because I know you're probably confused right now. Communication isn't how well he takes in information. That's teamwork. Communication for a goalkeeper is how well he organizes and communicates with his own defensive line and the defensive side of the team. So when I said about warlocks, mages and healers, I'm talking in RPGs, you got these guys that heal the team, yeah? He is basically the healer, but for the defense, tells them what to do, keeps them in line. If their communication is low, he ain't healing nothing. It definitely helps to have a high communication goalkeeper, because you might end up keeping more clean sheets that way. Your defenders might not be so lapsy-daisy because they've got instructions now. So David De Gea having 10 instills me with no confidence. David De Gea is still communicating with his team using empty metal cans and string. That's how old he is with communication. He ain't talking to his defenders. He doesn't really care about that side of the game. So when I go to Manuel Neuer, it's a little bit more respectable. He demands more of his team. It's communication that's respectable. It's 14. So that's the difference. Does that tie in to them being different roles? Maybe as a goalkeeper defend, you're on your own. You're doing the Mr. Incredible thing. You're like, F this, I work alone. I don't need my team. I'm here just stopping shots for myself. Maybe goalkeeper defend is the equivalent as the poacher outfield. You ain't worried about anything else apart from scoring goals as a poacher. Same way as a goalkeeper defend, you ain't worried about anything else apart from stopping shots. Command of area. This is massively important depending on your role, but I know it goes in line with the leaders. If you've got good leadership, I would imagine you've got good command of area, because this is your instincts now. We're not even talking about communication. Communication is the ability, but command of area is actually doing it. Command of area is actually coming for the cross, actually commanding your defensive line. It's putting in the action. So for someone like Manuel Neuer who's got 15, you can tell there's a lot of watch after the games being spoken. if the guy that he's talking to in the box isn't listening, he'll be like, all right, watch after the game, I'm going to buck him. That's what he'll do. I'm telling you, bruv, these men, they're on violence. I know it. I know he'll just say, okay, after the game, I'll catch you in the parking lot. If you're not going to abide by the instructions, that's probably how he goes. That's how he moves, man. Manuel Neuer, his voice is heard. But when we shift onto David De Gea, his command of area is 8. You're more likely to hear the mice at Old Trafford than him. That's what you'll hear. Command of area 8. So he doesn't have any instinct to take charge. He doesn't put his defensive line in order. So that gives you the question, what does he do? And I can confirm he just stands there. He just stands and waits. That's it. The guy, you think he was waiting for his next train. He don't do anything to help the team. And maybe that's because, once again, he's a goalkeeper to defend. Maybe he isn't thinking about the team. And you know what's funnier? That's probably how he lost his captaincy in real life. I remember it. It was probably under Ollie. He's not that kind of guy, as you can see. He doesn't come out and talk a lot to the team. But when they were losing, he came out publicly, live on Sky or wherever it was, slating the manager, saying that it's not good enough. And that's when they were like, oh, so you do have a voice. You can only talk when you're cussing the man them. All right. Stripped him of his captaincy. Aerial reach. See, now I thought that aerial reach meant how much of the goal the goalkeeper can cover. For example, if there's a shot that's just destined for the top corner, can he stop it with aerial reach? That's what I thought. The higher the number, the more likely he is to stop it. Turns out I was wrong. No surprise. I'm always wrong. I don't know nothing. But then again, this attribute reflects the player's physical ability to challenge in aerial situations. I was super wrong. Sheesh. I tried to savor it. Nah, I was wrong. So aerial reach is that battle where if the ball is in the air and there's a lot of defenders around him, can he be the one to come out victorious on top? Since the description mentions physicals, surely strength has a part to do with this. Is this the reason why goalkeepers usually have high strength than I would ever think of? I'm looking at some goalkeepers that can barely fill out their shirt. They genuinely look kind of skinny, but their strength is like 16, 17. It's ridiculous. Maybe it's because of this. So they need to just shoulder barge their way through everybody to claim the ball. Of course, there are many different attributes that aren't in the goalkeeping section or the technical section. But for example, mentals and physicals are important for goalkeepers as well. I would have thought having pace as a sweeper keeper would be important. It's quite self-explanatory. Imagine if you're sweeping, but you're slow while you're rushing out. Manuel Neuer has got 10 pace, 9 acceleration. I know he's 36, but I still have to live with those stats, you know. So him sweeping, it might not be as fast as you think. And then you got David De Gea, who isn't sweeping, who's got 13 pace, 13 acceleration. I'm thinking, so where are you going? What are you going to do? That's so confusing. What a waste of speed. Could have given that to somebody better. I believe that for a goalkeeper, outside of the goalkeeping section, the most important stat for the rest of the card is agility for me. And that's because I know if you're stiff, forget it. Forget it, bro. You're not saving shots. You can tell, wow, that man has no fluidity about him. He's just one log that can't bend side to side at speed. Agility, how quickly you can change direction. This guy can't change direction, let alone quickly. That's how stiff he is. But with Manuel Neuer, he's got 14 agility. And then with David De Gea, he's got 17. Goalkeepers don't just share technical sections, physical sections. They don't just have their own goalkeeping section. They've also got their own mental section as well. So if I was a centre-back, I would have to rely on my positioning. I would really want to strengthen my positioning if I was a young centre-back for sure. So I know where I'm going to be. I know that if an attacker's trying to attack me and I've got good positioning, I stand more of a chance. For a goalkeeper, they've also got positioning, but it'll be completely different. They're not looking to be in the right position to stop the defender. They're looking to be in the right position to stop the shot going into the back of the net. Someone like Manuel Neuer's got 16 positioning, so I guess he'll be in a more desirable position to stop that shot hitting the back of the net. David De Gea's got 15 positioning. Vision, of course, is another stat for goalkeepers. Manuel Neuer's got 16, so that's how you can tell he can play outfield. When you compare that to David De Gea's lack of vision, which is 5, you're thinking, My Lord, thank God we're not in a maze or in a escape room with this guy, because we will never get home. Imagine if he was the guy that had the keys. Oh, wow. Another way for me to put it that might be a little bit more simple is he makes intelligent decisions, not just decisions, but intelligent decisions, while steady with high composure. So one is drunk, the other one is sober. Simple. I summed it up pretty well, I think. Whether I like it or not, I have to keep an eye on natural fitness, because these goalkeepers, for some reason this year, they're made out of window panes, made out of glass. They'll just shatter. I've shown you. So with all these injuries, that's always on the agenda now. So now when I'm scouting goalkeepers in the future, I can't help but look. I haven't got a choice now. I can't help but look at natural fitness, something I would have never done. So yeah, it's definitely messed up my goalkeeping relationships. I've even sold goalkeepers based on their lack of staying fit in the past. I've done a couple saves this year. Some guys have lost jobs because they couldn't stay fit, and I just couldn't take it. It was too much pain. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, I don't think I've ranted for half an hour, but I've definitely spoken my mind. What is the most important stat for a goalkeeper out of all of them? If I had to choose one, it's still reflexes, because I understand the importance of sweeper keepers to the modern game. But if you can't stop shots, why are you not outfield? You might as well be in the midfield. If you want to sweep so bad, reapply to your team as a midfielder or a centre-back or a wing-back, winger. Play outfield, bro. But when you're trying to be a goalkeeper that can't use his reflexes, why am I putting my trust in that? I shouldn't. I don't think I should. So yeah, that's how I feel about goalkeepers. And Football Manager has taught me so much. Forever grateful for it. That was episode 1 of my podcast. Let me know how you feel.